can I talk about the Democrats a little bit? I don't want to just bash Trump. So Bernie Sanders has this big thing where, the problem with Israel is Netanyahu. It's the kind of the direct leadership of Israel. But this is fundamentally not true. And I want to talk about like this poll that came out, which said that 76% of Jewish Israelis believe that there are no innocents in Gaza. No innocents. Children, women, men, elderly. There are no innocents in Gaza. There's this like, what's the right words? There's this policy, or there's this push from, like, let's say, liberal Israelis, as well as, like, liberal American Jewish people, who want to argue that, what, the problem is Netanyahu, and if we just get rid of him, Israel's actually fine, and there's no kind of like, issue beyond Netanyahu. But then polls like this come up, which, by the way, is commissioned by liberal Israelis who are trying to show, or trying their best to show, that, what, it's a Netanyahu problem. There's a fundamental problem with Israel as a country that has, the ability to let to let this happen, to let this amount of slaughter and killing happen. So, like, this poll was commissioned by kind of liberal institutions in Israel that are trying to show, what, it's a Netanyahu problem. Like, don't sanction, don't cut trade relations, don't cut, let's just, like, pause, get rid of Netanyahu, and this problem will be solved. When the reality of the matter is, like, they, like, fundamentally, Israeli society, Jewish society, believes that there's a problems with Palestinians, and they see them as an other, which allows the killing to happen to this degree. And this isn't like, this isn't what Bernie Sanders wants to argue. This is what Bernie Sanders is trying to hide. And this kind of needs to be called out. It needs to be called out, to be said, there's an issue here that needs to be managed, and needs to be solved. How did it get to the point where, Israeli society can just fully honor their neighbors, so to speak? And, like, if you looked at, I was watching Israeli media yesterday when the double tap attacked in the hospital, and, like, we have a video of it here to remind you of all what happened. There was no outrage. The only outrage was, how would the West think about it? And I think Channel 13 had a little sad segment about it. But beyond that, like, there was no real, like, oh wow, our military waited 17 minutes for rescuers to arrive, and then we bombed the rescuers. And, like, it's such a shocking image for, like, a society to accept from that perspective. And then we can't agree with Sanders' position that, just get rid of Netanyahu and this problem will be solved. There has to be an actual solution where, like, the Palestinians are humanized as a people with rights and a cause, and that they want what everyone else in that region wants, which is, the right to self-determination,